Hi everyone. So it is Wednesday, the last Wednesday of the month, and you know what that means. It is time for our live Facebook chat. And you should stay tuned to this entire chat because there are going to be lots of deals offered throughout the chat and lots of information being offered to you by Lisa from the staff room. Not only that, we'll be posting a lot of links for resources throughout the talk. So I'm going to shimmy to the side and I am going to hand it all over to Lisa.
Wow. Hi, everyone. I've never done one of these before, I'm going to be honest, so I'm not sure, Dwayne, if you want to guide me here and tell me, what do these guys want to know?
They want to know everything that's in your head.
We've only got an hour, right? Where to begin? I know that there was a couple of videos that were sent to Dwayne. Do we want to start there with maybe touching on those, or
We'll tell them about the videos after because it's going to be a surprise
for
April
launch. Surprise. Okay, so I guess to get started though is entrepreneurship, how to start a business properly. It's very, very tricky, very, very tricky. There's a couple of documents that I've given to Dwayne in order to help you guys. One of them is a business plan as well as one's a finances spreadsheet for a business plan. So I'll probably turn my head, and I'm sorry because I'm talking to Dwayne, who's right here. But I did give her a couple of documents. Business plan is really, really important. I think the first step is, what do you want to do? You have to really figure out what it is you want to do. What's the sector? What's the industry? Is it a product? Is it a service? What name do you want? How do you find it if somebody else has your name? Somewhere in Canada, somewhere in Ontario, somewhere in the world. You have to do a news search. You have to decide entrepreneurship, sole proprietor, and corporate, for profit, not for profit. There's so many questions. There's so many things to ask and to sort it. Usually takes probably a good year before you actually have a good business plan. You need more than one business plan. I've only given Dwayne one. Can't give the farm away, guys. Got to give you something, but not everything. I think the reason I gave you that particular one that I did give is because it's one that the banks use, and if you're going for a loan or if somebody's asking for a grant, then it's something where you can use that one. So you would start out with, what's your business? What's your topic? What's your industry? What's your name? What's the purpose? Geographically, is it something that's in demand in your area? Is it something that you need? Is it something that you want? Is it something that is for business, for individuals? What's it for? What's the purpose? I've also pulled a document which I'm going to give to Dwayne a little bit later on. This was a really, really interesting article that hit my desk today. And a major company has figured out that one of the problems they had in starting up, hi Kat, one of the problems they had, they didn't do an HR department. They didn't think about it. So it's after you've done business plans, your name search, your incorporation or your sole proprietorship, or figured all of that out, you got to have an HR department or an HR person or outsource it to a company like us. You need marketing people. Outsource it. Hire them. SEO, I'm sure Dwayne has already talked about this, though, right?
Kelly Farrell, 2 months ago, her chat was
there you go.
On that.
See, so Kelly's in tune with everything, because it's really, really important, and she probably did talk about how it starts a business, the branding, the social media. It's so key in a new business. Keeping up with things, it's not easy. I'm not going to lie, because I don't lie, unfortunately. Sorry.
Fortunately.
Well, unfortunately for some, because they don't want to hear the truth, and that's the part of the problem, right? when they don't want to hear the truth, they're like, I have to do that, really? No, I think I'll skip that one. But they shouldn't. They really, really shouldn't. Should we include you? I feel like,
I'll come back later.
She's so shy. She's so beautiful and so shy. Look at that. I do think it's really, really important, though, that you guys know quite a bit of information, all joking aside, because if you don't know it, you can actually get yourself into quite a bit of problems. So something like this, which is the business plan, there you go. It doesn't have to be huge. You'll see that this one is not, part of it's only 8 pages, but when a bank wants to know information, they want to know what they want to know. So they want to know all the nitty gritty. When you're going for a silent partner or an angel investor, they don't want to know all the nitty gritty. They don't care. And that's good and bad. Good because of the fact they just want to know, what are you doing and what's the purpose? And how are you spending your money? You're so cruel. And then the banks want to know the last time you had a meal. So they want to know every detail, and they want it really, really outlined. So when you're doing all of this, you have to really think about it. And that's why a good business plan takes about a year. I'm going to say a year and a half. The first time I did a business plan, it took me about 8 months, and I figured out that I was missing a lot of information, but that was also 17 years ago. It wasn't exactly yesterday, sorry. But when we did things the proper way, I have family members that have been very successful. My uncle is a self-made millionaire from being an entrepreneur. So see, it can happen. It's, how you really do it is what's important and what's key. And that's why we're doing all this. What I'd like to see is, who wants to know what? What do you want to know? What are your questions? Did you do a business plan? Have you done a noon search? Do you know what a noon search is? Do you know how to incorporate? Why would you need to incorporate? Do you know what company insurance is? WSIB, do you need it? When do you need it? What about a bank account? Do you do your own personal bank account and just kind of incorporate your business? What do you do in that nature? How do you do that? These are all questions that you probably have, that you probably, information that you kind of need. And I think that one of the good things about doing this and doing it live is because of the fact we can answer your questions right away.
Amanda is asking about executive templates.
What about executive templates? Can you give us a little bit more information there, Amanda?
Why don't you type stuff on there?
Executive templates. I'm not sure exactly what you're asking. If it's directors sometimes use them in order to do a department. If that's what she's referring to, I'm not sure. They're good, but you've got to watch what ones you actually use. Some of them are for the US, and if you're in Canada, it's not quite going to work. So Amanda, can you let us know what exactly are you referring to? There she is.
Yes, the business plan template you were showing and speaking about.
This one? So no, it's not a template. If you'd like a template, I do strongly recommend, libraries are a good place, but go on any big bank, TD Bank, Royal Bank, Bank of Montreal, I think has one on their website. You can actually download their templates. They're really, really a good start, because what they do is they ask you to fill in all the information.
So one's going to be a link for the
Oh, there you go. One's going to be a link. Yay! So I think, Kat, you're putting them on, right? Okay. So there's two. One is the actual business plan, and the other, there's two parts to it. There's the financials. So as I mentioned earlier, they want to know everything and anything. Yep. They're actually PDFs.
You gave me a link in mine.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, in the letter.
I have no idea.
I'll post it later.
Okay, well, there you go. You're going to get it later on, but you will get it. Again, you can go on to any of the TD Royal, I know, has it. I believe Bank of Montreal has it as well. So there's actually a spot on a lot of the business, the bank websites where you can actually go into small business. So if you click on the small business part of it, you will actually get various information on what the banks want. Totally different again from what an investor wants, whether it's a silent partner, is it an angel investor, is it a grant from the government, is it a proposal that you're doing to the government? There's different ways to get money. So here's a tricky thing. Once you've got, and I'm not sure even if you know this, Dwayne, found it all out recently. When you're starting a business, if you're under a certain age, you can get money like that. If you're not for profit, like that.
If you're under 35 or something like that.
Under 30. Under 30.
Yeah, I missed that boat.
If you're a woman, we're women. I'm thinking most of us are probably women on here. Women have new funding available for them. So when you want to, or when you need more money, or need startup money, it's right there. There's also money for those that are starting up a summer business. Again, that's a certain age group. There's ones for students now for starting up a business. There's so much money out there right now. I'm sure that you know that there's also grants and there's wage subsidies. So here's the thing. If you've started up a business and you're finding that you may need marketing help, you've got to get the branding out there, you've got to get your social media out there, and you need to hire somebody to help you. You can always go to the schools. Schools are great for stuff like that. Colleges, universities, and high schools, believe it or not. What you can do is you can get a student that's going through for a particular program, and it will help get their hours. So a high school student needs to have, I think it's 44 hours in order to graduate now. So you go to the high schools and you let them know that you're a new business owner and you need some help. They will actually recommend people, and they're free. And it's not saying that it's bad labor or anything else. It's more of a volunteer thing because they need their hours. So you're helping them and they're helping you. It's a win-win situation. That's free. How do you go wrong?
I have a question. I don't know if they can hear my question, so you might want to repeat it.
Okay.
If you're a solopreneur and you're looking for volunteers, you being an HR expert, what types of things should they look for in these people that they're trying to technically hire to help them?
Okay, so I don't know if you guys heard. Dwayne's question is, if you are looking for a volunteer and you want to hire, what tips and trips can I give you if you want to hire a volunteer or just anybody in particular? It's easy to read a resume. I can read a resume in 30 seconds or less, and I can teach you how to do that, actually. That's part of what we do. But when you're going through it, you want to go by what education do they have, what experience do they have, go through and find out, and I'll go from top to bottom and bottom to top, and I'll do it really, really quick. When you're going top to bottom and bottom to top, so you're seeing where they are and where they've been, and then you go backwards to go so that you can actually see their life and go through it that way. When you ask them questions, there's a couple of questions that are key questions to ask them that will bring out their personality. Should I give that to them?
Yes.
Okay. Personality stuff, I'll have to give you the link for that. Mm-hmm. Actually, it's a document. So there's an actual document that we'll provide to you so that you can actually help when you're interviewing these guys. When you're interviewing on the phone, we do it in 3 steps. So we do email questions, we do phone questions, and then we also do face-to-face. And what we do, and the reason why we do it, there's 3 questions that we will actually repeat in all 3 of the processes. In all 3 processes, we ask the same type of question because they're personality ones. So when we're discovering and when we're going through that, we actually will say, okay, well, you answered in the email, you answered that question this way, but when we asked it a different way, in the phone interview, you answered it a different way, and now that we're asking you again, it's totally different again. So doesn't that lead you to believe, did you answer the ones on the email or did somebody else? Because it's a totally different one. On the phone interview, you're a lot more comfortable because you're not face-to-face. Then when you're face-to-face, you're nervous. So a lot of the times that's going to come out. When people are nervous, they usually want to say what they think you want to hear. So it's a little bit different. But that's why we do the 3-step process, and that's why we do all of those. So does that answer your question a little bit?
I guess yes, and because I know a lot of times for us, it's hard for us to bring people into fold and feel like we can trust them. It's
Absolutely.
hard to read the personality, and I know probably like 80% of hiring is personality. The only 20% they can learn, right? So
yeah, personality is key. Think of it as they're working with you and not for you, and that's when you're going to see if you can actually trust them. Because when you think that somebody, and when you feel a comfort, trust your gut. Guts never go wrong. I've always said that females are able to do a lot of gut searching. Go figure. But we actually can, and I don't know why that is, but we should learn to trust our guts a lot more and a lot. I don't know how to turn it off either. There should be a button up here.
oh,
For the volume, yeah. Okay. It's probably just it, but you don't have to touch the control one.
Oh, just hit the button.
Dwayne is using my computer and I'm using hers, just so you guys know. So
yeah.
we go back and forth. Sorry. We had a bit of fun around here. Should have been here 5 minutes ago. Actually, you know what? We should have gone live for that.
No, it would have been a disaster.
No, you know what? We're all human. Here's another thing when you're an entrepreneur, you're human. You have to remember that everybody's human. Keep it real. Keep it real. No, I'm serious. Why can't you keep it real?
I'll try.
When you keep it real, you're also going to, how can I say this? You go with your gut more when you keep it real. Because you're being real, the true colors of the person comes out. Because they're more relaxed. The more relaxed they are, I've had people in interviews go, you're chewing gum. It's like, okay, a little too relaxed. A little too relaxed. But at the same time, it shows their true personality. So would they fit in working for you at a trade show, for example, which are important as an entrepreneur, very important. So you have somebody that's sitting there chomping on gum, sorry, not a gun, but gum. Not exactly professional. So it's something I don't think would be good for your business. When you're an entrepreneur, I want to know, what kind of businesses are you guys looking to start? Do you have something tangible? A lot of times we get MLMs, multi-level marketing companies. That would be like Avon is a multi-level marketing company. How do you start your own business as a rep for something like that? That's really, really easy. That's so easy. They've already got a reputation. They have, they've been around for a long time too. They've been around for 150 years, 160 years, I think. So they have the templates and everything already for you. You have to build them all yourself if you're starting like from scratch. I'm going to tell them a story about how the staff room got started.
That's great.
It's kind of something I fell into, believe it or not. So here I was working for one company, and unfortunately they kind of had a bad thing happen to them. I won't tell you exactly what it was because that's not good. But they didn't have an HR department. They were a small company. There was about 20 of us. And unfortunately, there were some legal issues that happened. I left the company because I saw it coming. But at the same time, I tried to tell the owners, and they didn't want to listen to me. So there's nothing I can do there. But HR fell into my lap that way. So I had people coming to me and telling me their stories and telling me their problems. So I took an HR course. That's how it all began. Oh God, I'm going to age myself. A long time ago. So I left there, went to another company. It was a very brand new startup itself. Helped them start up. They had the funding. They had their funds. It was actually working from someone's home. So they decided to now, because they were growing, work out of an office. They grew even more and more to the point where they grew a little too fast, too quick, and they kind of spent their money a little faster than they should have, which is why you have a business plan. They didn't have one. So unfortunately, I had to leave there. Went to another job, and same kind of thing, small business again, and that's a common mistake everybody makes, is they spend their money faster than they actually get it, thinking that it's coming in, and it's gone. So I went to go to work one day, and there was a sheriff putting a lock on his door. Yeah, kind of scary. So I asked them if I could go in and get my own personal stuff. They were kind enough to take the chains off, literally, and I went in. So I went to a recruiting firm, and that's where it all began. I had 3 clients that told me, you think outside the box, you don't think like a normal recruiter, you've got an HR background, you've taken it in school, why not start your own company? No, thank you. I've seen what goes on. I've been in the companies where it's like I get a phone call from like, you don't have enough money to cover your payroll, and the owners are down skiing somewhere, right? Not fun. However, by doing all of that, I was able to learn, you know what, you have to go slow and grow. So I took the advice of a couple of friends to start my own business, as well as the 3 companies that said that they would always be behind me. To this day, they're still behind me. Thank goodness. They've seen me go through an awful lot. So I started my company in my house. Single mom, just bought a townhouse, and just lost my job. So was I prepared for it? Not really, when I just bought a house. So I started it actually in my bedroom. Yeah. So it grew. I still had the 3 companies that were with me. I went through a recession. They still stuck with me. Got back up on my feet. I had a part-time job myself, because starting a business costs money. It takes money to make money, just so you know. Remember that. I'm going to go back to that in a minute. So I worked part-time in a strip bar at night. No, I was not the stripper. I was a waitress. So it was good money fast. I worked Thursday, Friday, Saturday nights, and I raked in a lot of money. During the day, I focused on the business. Grew it. Ended up being in another house, a bigger house. Grew it some more. We started with 5 people in one of my bedrooms. Went into my loft. Went into another bedroom. Did the basement. Designed it for the company. Had 3 people steal from me. So you do have to learn how to trust people. They were actually charged. 2 of them were charged criminally. Got back up on my feet again, just to find out I had cancer. So single mom, brand new relationship too. Had to go for major surgery. That's okay. You know what? We're women. We get through it. And together we get through it. So did another hurdle. Did all of that and decided I need to get out of the house. I'm going to go stir crazy in the house. Even though you've got employees to talk to, you still kind of go a little bit nuts. I want to do laundry, right? Not everybody is cut out to work from home, so keep that in mind too. Decided to go to a place in Scarborough. Was doing great. 1,600 square feet. Private bathroom, one with a shower in it, wellness room, the whole 9 yards. It was wonderful. Building got bought. It kind of went horrible and came back to Pickering, and it's been great. We're actually growing again, so we are hiring, and it's something where I would never look back. Went through all those hurdles, and you know what? It's not easy. To the point where we grew so much. Even when we were in Scarborough, we actually got the NBA All-Star Game contract that was here in Toronto last year. So something significant can happen when you start a business. You just have to do it right. So when you're doing your business and you're getting the grants, the loans, the silent partners possibly, an angel investor who invests because they want to make money.
You're back.
Sorry guys.
Internet happens.
It's what happens when you kick something. Sorry. So anyway, so when you're doing all of that, you've got to grow slowly. You've got to have a proper business plan. You've got to make sure your finances are in place, and you've got to get proper marketing as well. Marketing is very, very key. That's where Dwayne comes in.
Ooh.
Well, you do
Well, we can
marketing
do,
and
we
SEO.
can do a
And
nice little commercial break and I'll step in.
awesome. Oh, cool. Thanks.
See, this is what happens when Lisa says, and that's when Dwayne comes in. Dwayne actually comes in. So I'm just going to give Lisa a little breather. You know, she can have a sip of, you know, juice or something like that because she's been, you know, giving us a lot to take in. But I have a few little tidbits to talk to you about. We will be posting quite a few pieces of information later on once I get some links, once we switch back computers, I should say, and I get some links from Lisa. So we'll post the TD Bank information with the business plans, and I'll also post, there were a few other links that she gave to us. I want to also offer, because Vistaprint is going to be sharing this on their page as well, and they do have a great promo going on. I will put the link on the screen so you can go to vistaprint.ca/CSBW deals, and you can use the promo code CSBW17 and you get 20% off whatever you purchase. Who doesn't like a discount, right? And speaking of marketing and promotions, like Lisa said before, we have an event coming up in Niagara on May 17th. It is our small business seminar, Crossing Borders edition, and you can get 30% off being a vendor if you mention this chat. That offer is only going to last until the end of the week, though, so I'll type that as well. But that's all I have to say right now, but I will be back.
Well, if we're doing deals, do you guys want more discounts? Do you want more deals? I've got one for you. What do you think? Should we do one now or should we wait? Okay, well, we're going to make you wait, apparently. Tweenie is like that.
I had a question.
You have a question.
At what point in your business, or what questions should you be asking yourself in your business about getting ready to hire? Like, how do you really figure out when you're ready to hire?
Good question. That's actually not that difficult if you do a business plan.
Right.
It will be in your business plan. Oh, wrong way. Your business plan will actually include your hiring and your forecasting. That's part of the reasons why the banks want to see the financials. Forecasting is really, really, really key. Pardon me, geez, going around. I think it's because I was drinking so fast. When you forecast, you've got to think about where do you want to be in 3 years? Not just 1 or 2, but 3. How much financial backing do you have? Do you have grants? Do you have proposals? Do you do RFPs? It really depends on what kind of business are you doing. Are you doing services? Are you doing an actual product? Are you a distributor? Are you a manufacturer? Maybe you want to manufacture something. It's very, very key for that. I'd really like to hear from some people on what do they do? What are their thoughts? What are they currently doing? Amanda, you're out there. I'd love to hear. What are you doing? Do you have a business already? I'm going to pick on poor Amanda. Sorry, Amanda. I know that in some of the things that I talk about, I actually use a fictitious person and their possible business. So maybe I'll use that. I won't pick on Amanda. I'm not quite that cruel. Okay, so Donna. Donna wants to start a cupcake business. But Donna doesn't know how to start one.
Well, that was me. I was Donna. That's how I started Canadian Small Businesswoman. I started a cupcake business first. That's perfect. Talk about Donna.
Perfect. So Donna's cupcakes, I mean, everybody loved them. She was getting family and friends that were saying, you know what, you do a really good job. It's beautiful work. Why don't you start your own business? Donna's sitting there thinking, how would I do that? What name do I come up with? Well, she decided to use Donna's Cupcakes. So while she was operating under Donna's Cupcakes, she didn't realize she also had to register it. You can operate under your business name without registering it or without incorporating it or being an entrepreneur or a sole proprietor or not-for-profit, you can do that. But here's the tricky part. If you don't register your company name, somebody else can steal it. So Donna's making wonderful cupcakes. She's building up this great reputation. She's on Facebook and everything else. Somebody else decides to steal Donna's cupcakes. So now that person is making cupcakes, but they're not as good as Donna's, the original Donna. So now she's in a bit of a battle, but there's nothing Donna can actually do, even though she was operating under Donna's Cupcakes, and her name is Donna, because Donna didn't register her company name. Donna didn't do a news search in order to find out if somebody else was named Donna's Cupcakes. Lots of Donnas out there, lots of cupcakes. So what did Donna do? Well, she had to establish herself. You can, and here's the tricky part that a lot of people don't know, you can actually have the same name as somebody else as long as you're doing a different business. So Donna's Cupcakes can actually be somebody that, I don't know, does marketing, but their name's Donna's Cupcakes. As long as you're doing something totally different, you can actually have the same name. TSR Canada is also a name that Scotiabank uses, believe it or not. But we could register it and incorporate TSR Canada because we're not a bank and we don't do anything in the financial sector. So keep that in mind. Look it up in Nunes before you really start to pump it out. So Vistaprint does some wonderful business cards. I know we use them like crazy. There you go. And I mean, we do use them like crazy. The banners behind us, we use them. All our business cards, they're wonderful. So go on to Vistaprint, design something under Donna's Cupcakes because you're registered and you are either incorporated or you're sole proprietor. You can register one way or the other, or not for profit or charity. So you've got all of that. You've got on Vistaprint and you've got Donna's Cupcakes everywhere. Now, how does Donna get her word out? Where's Donna going to work? Does Donna need more help? Okay, so on Facebook, Donna now has tons of orders for cupcakes. There's birthday parties coming up. There's catering positions that, you know, she can bid for, called an RFP, request for proposal. And she can't do all of this alone, but she hasn't got all the financing that she needs in order to hire someone. So what does Donna do? She's got family and friends. Are they classified as an employee?
Can't you do that?
You can, but they're classified as an employee.
Yeah.
Regardless if they're family or not, if you put them on the payroll, they are still classified as an employee. You can put them down as general laborers, that's fine, but you can also get volunteers. Where did I say to go to before?
Schools.
Cooking schools, baking schools. They need to still get their hours and such, right? That's your first place of looking. Putting an ad out for volunteers and such, you can do that as well. That's when you know you need to hire your first employee. When you have more orders than you can actually handle and the funds are coming in, so people will put down a deposit. You ask for a deposit. It's not a big deal to ask for a deposit. Companies do it all the time. When you hire a contractor, they want a deposit. Why? That's to pay for the materials, to buy them up front. Then they worry about paying their employees after the contract is done because they know that they have you in a contract. So if you have a slight easy contract, you want to order something that's over a certain amount, and again, you would have to determine all this because you know what your budget is. You know what it costs for the flour, the icing, sugar, the whole 9 yards. So you determine how much before they need a deposit. Get the deposit and then go forward, right? Get your volunteers. You give a volunteer a bonus and they're very, very happy. They're also very grateful that they could help you out as well as you helping them out. That answer your question?
Amanda didn't answer. She works with Avon and Teaching Social. She does websites and stuff.
Amanda, you're awesome. I was a team leader for Avon years ago, and it took me nothing. In my division, I'm not going to specify where it was because I haven't done Avon in a while, But in my division, I was the fastest growing team because of the fact I could do recruitment. And actually, the regional manager asked me how I was growing my team so fast. It's all in recruitment. It's all how you do it. It's where do you do it? How do you know what region that you're in and how to actually get the people? Really easy. When you're honest and upfront with people, it's amazing the response that you'll get. You'll get better people that way. Oh, she just made you. Yay! Good job, Amanda. Unit leader is great. You had to be a team leader first. So, you know what? That's not easy. How long have you been doing Avon for? Oh.
10 seconds away.
She's pretty fast too. Excellent. You know what? That's a really good start. I found Avon was really, really helpful. Avon, Party Light.
MLMs are really good.
They are very, very good in MLM. Nerium. There's a few of them that are out there. Tupperware. There's. Yeah, I did Arbonne as well. I've done a couple of them.
She's 7 months, but her mom has been doing it for 20 years. Wowzers. Wow.
So you probably went underneath your mom. Your mom's been doing it for 20 years to give her that boost. Or maybe you were able to put your mom under you. Sometimes when somebody's been in Avon for a long time, they can have them put under if their team leader is no longer. Something to look into. I'm sure you're aware of this. You're a unit leader. What you tell her for? So you know how to recruit. When you do any type of an interview or an ad, you've got to really know your region. You've got to really know your people that are out in your geographical area, which goes back to
Your
the
business plan.
Hey, you got it.
It does.
It's really, really key. And once you've got the name done and once you've got
all your socials, your website.
website, when do you start a website?
Right away. Well, I usually suggest that when you pick a name, the first thing you do, I know it feels weird, I'll do it this way. I suggest that when you pick a name, the first thing you do is you go out and you search for the domain and all the social media handles that are the same as your name and secure them. I can tell you now I have another project far, far on the back burner on another stove in another house in another town, and I have already secured the domain. I already have all the social media handles so that when I'm ready for it, I have everything there.
Good. That's perfect. So when you're doing that, you did a noon search, right?
Yes, I did.
And then you did a geographical
like $20
search, right?
or something like that.
It's ridiculously crazy, yeah.
It's worth it.
It's perfect. It's perfect. So you've done all of that, which is great.
Amanda's saying she went under her mom and now she has almost 20 under her.
That's amazing.
Perfect. That's actually really good. So you know how. So yeah. So you know how to recruit, which means when you grow even further, because you can go up the next level. Oh, she's sliding away. When you go to the next level, then you'll be able to. But you know what? What a lot of people don't realize is doing an MLM is your own business. You have to know your income tax. You have to know your write-offs. You still have to keep track of everything. I would even suggest doing a business plan even when you're doing an MLM, because you know what? You need to know your market. You really need to know, is this going to benefit me? Is it really going to benefit my situation?
And should you be prepared to do mini business plans frequently, like every year, every 2 years, every 6 months? What do you recommend?
Well, your first one is a forecast for 3 years, and then I suggest you look at it every year, because everything changes. Social media changes like there's no tomorrow. Technology changed. I used to work at Symantec, and I'm telling you that the technology changed every 3 months. And you know, computers, well, you have one and what, 2 months later it's obsolete pretty much. It's pretty crazy. What other questions are out there?
In terms of when you're starting your branding, do you identify...
Oh, hello.
Hi. It got really, really romantic in here.
They're on timers. Sorry, guys.
There we go, because energy efficiency is key.
Yes, it is.
In terms of your branding, do you, as part of your business planning, you go through branding exercises before you get everything started?
You should. It's a good thing to go through that. Here's another thing. Do you have a coach?
Oh my gosh, everybody needs a coach.
Even a coach has a coach. We're coaches, and I have a coach. Actually, I have two. And I love them. I had a coach for Party Light when I did Party Light. I had a coach for Avon when I did Avon. I've had a coach for Arbonne when I did Arbonne. Pardon me, but you have to have a coach because you need somebody to go to, because even though you're in business and you're successful and you're getting an ROI, return on investment, you're going to have days where you're going to go, I can't do this anymore. I'm so frustrated. Where am I getting new business from? How am I getting new business? Oh my God, I can't keep up with this. Like, get me out of here. It doesn't happen overnight that you're going to be successful, just so that everybody knows.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a lot of work. I'd say that probably the first 5 years. The success rate of a new business to survive after 3 years is very, very low. But because now Ontario specifically is actually increasing all your grants and all your help, it's becoming more and more successful. By the year 2025, you're not going to see people graduating and going for corporate jobs. They're now graduating and going for their own jobs, which means they're entrepreneurs, which is, it's been proven now. So when you've got your business plan and everything in effect, you can't go wrong. I have to say that's like the first step.
It's the most important step. A lot of people skip that.
A huge one. Here's another one that you need to know. Blitzes. So we get blitzes, and you can go onto the Ministry of Ontario and sign up for this. These are important to know because this is where they're actually going to do a blitz, and it will let you know where they're doing the blitz. So when you go on there and you register for these, it'll give you a summary report as to what industry they've hit and what the results are. The reason why I'm saying that you need to know this is sometimes a lot of people think, I don't need WSIB, or oh my God, I need WSIB. They're kind of hearing one is six of one, half a dozen of the other, as they say. You don't have to have WSIB right away. You don't have to have WSIB unless you're in construction. It's mandatory for construction only. Remember that. I keep hearing, oh my God, I need WSIB, and it's based on your payroll.
Liability insurance you need as a business.
You need, your I think it's called P&L. There's two different ones. But you know what? You've got car insurance, you've got house insurance. Contact them and they'll be able to direct you into their commercial division. The commercial division will be able to guide you. And don't just go with whoever you've got car insurance with. That's something that's, definitely shop around. Intact is actually pretty good if you can find somebody that deals with them. Desjardins, they're actually pretty good for a real new entrepreneur, as well as car insurance. There's a plug for them, right? And I'm not even with them. But you need to know about the slips, trips, and falls. You need to know what's going on with Ontario, the Ministry of Labor. You can't sit there and say, well, I didn't know. I'm a business owner, but I don't know.
The fines are astronomical.
AODA is $50,000 a day if you're not in compliance, and they don't care what your reason is. It's no longer acceptable to just say, well, I didn't know. You own a business, it's your job to know. So as much as it's all confusing and as much as you need to know an awful lot, that's where HR comes into effect. HR and marketing are the two key things that you want to do and that you want to have in place when you are starting up. I can't stress enough. Go on to HRM and read about this. It's where a company went wrong because they didn't have HR. They didn't think that they needed HR. Everybody blocks off HR. Personnel was what it was called many, many years ago. I just aged myself, didn't I? Exactly, thanks. Thanks, Tanya. It used to be called personnel. They canned personnel because personnel, also known as HR, is not cost effective. They spend money. So there's no ROI. There's no return on investment with HR. HR spends money and they tell them how to hire, terminate, clauses to put in, policies, procedures, health and safety, the whole gamut. HR is actually the backbone to any and every company. Companies figured that out once they got rid of all personnel. And then when they brought them back, they called them human resources because we're human and we deal with the resources. We have the resources for the companies. So now we deal with strategical planning. We can help you with your business plan because sometimes you're going to miss something. You're not going to understand it. Contact an HR company. We'd love to help you, but I'm not going to say, put all your eggs in one basket either. Go out and find the fit that's for you. And that's the other key. When you're starting a business, you have to find the fit that's for you.
In terms of us having a company like the Staff Room being your HR solution, how does that all work? So if I am someone who, I run my business and I have, let's say, 3 staff members, what kind of services would you offer? Or what kind of services would you suggest even?
Depends on the company, depends on what you do. So you have 3 staff members. Do you do payroll? Do you do it in-house? Do you outsource it? Do you have policies, procedures, AODA is in effect?
Do you offer all that?
Yes, we do. We offer everything and anything. We are I call us the one-stop shop. We're your arm, we're your extension. We will be there through thick and thin with you. We will help guide you. When you want to hire employees, when you want to terminate them because they're just ticking you off and you just want to get rid of them. Been there, done that. Worked for a company where one of the owners, that's what he did. He actually fired them on the spot. I actually went into his office one time and said, "You can't do that." "No, you're not fired." But you've got to know how to deal with employees as well. What policies do you need in place? So yes, we will help you with all of that. We'll actually guide you through it all. We'll give you what's called an HR audit. Don't be afraid. We're not the government. We're not going to audit you that way. But we will do an HR audit. And just so that you know, it's now mandatory to have an HR audit done every single year by an outsourced company. Here we are. We can help you. We'll actually help you save money. That's why we're different. I'm not going to lie to you and tell you that you need a service that you really don't need, especially if you don't need it right away. I will actually tell you, you don't need this right away. You will need this down the line. And you will need this in place when you've done XYZ. So we'll help you that way.
Do you happen to have a checklist of some sort that some companies can use to assess their...
She gave it away.
Okay, so I'll have a checklist from Lisa.
She gave it away. That's one of our giveaways. So here's something that we were going to do. So the first 5 people to contact Dwaynia right now will get a free HR audit.
Okay.
It's for 30 minutes. It's free.
info@canadiansmallbusinesswomen.ca.
info@canadiansmallbusiness.ca. Businesswoman. Sorry, my mistake. Sorry, don't hurt me. It's oops, wrong way. Right behind.
Yeah.
So email her first 5 free HR audits. It's 30 minutes. It's going to tell you what you need and what you don't need, whether you've been in business for 7 years, 2 years, 6 minutes, or 5 months. We're going to help you. I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions. I'll actually send you a document. I believe it's about 15 pages long. Yeah, it goes through an awful lot. So we're going to go through everything. I want to make sure that you guys are up and running properly. I want to make sure that you are operating properly. I'm not a lawyer. I don't pretend to be a lawyer, but we do work with them. So a lot of times I can ask lawyers questions on your behalf. It's free legal advice that way. We do work with very large lawyers in the industry. Stringer is one of them. Stuart Rutner is another one. There's a few of them out there that we deal with. They don't necessarily help individuals, but because we can ask them questions on your behalf, we can get that information to you either for free because it's a quick question or at a fraction of the price because we have a connection. And a lot of times when we actually refer people to the lawyers that we work with, they get a bit of a discount, they get a break. Because you're a small business, you need to make sure that you're protected. If you're a sole proprietor, make sure that you're aware anything and everything that you own is on the line. If you're incorporated, you're actually a little bit more protected. I'm not saying that you're fully protected, but you're a little more protected if you're incorporated because you have that incorporation that's backing you and it's not you. So you've got to really just figure out what you want to do. What do they want? What do they need? So did Amanda key in? Did she send you an email? I'd be disappointed, Amanda, if you
I haven't
didn't.
checked my email yet, but I'll go through the 5. Don't worry.
Amanda, just because you're an MLM does not mean you don't require help. A lot of times, and here's the misconception. You're an MLM, you have the help from Avon. I'm going to pick on Avon for a minute. You have the help from Avon. Doesn't mean that they have everything in place for you as a MLM person. You're actually on your own. Do you know that? If something goes wrong, Avon is hands off. Why? Because you signed a contract. Go and read your contract. So we'll help you to keep you a little more above the water, as we say. We're going to help you get some people behind you, and I can also show you, and here's the best benefit of being in HR, I'm going to show you how to grow your team even more.
Okay. So we have about 9 minutes left, so
Ooh.
I want to ask you probably a couple things. First thing, top 5 things people should remember from this top 5.
Top 5, what you have to have in place in the first 6 months. Where do you get your name search? Why do you need a name search? Do you search geographically? Why should you search geographically? Do you determine your service, your product? Have those things in place. Make sure you got a business plan.
That's important.
Just one.
So you have an event coming up. I want you to talk about that, and there will be a link posted
April
to the
6th.
event.
April 6th, we are doing an all-day workshop, if you will. First thing in the morning, we're going to help people that don't know how to do a resume, or they can't figure out why they're not getting a job or getting a call. We're gonna point out to you why. And then after that, there's going to be intervals of us speaking to you on pretty much this, how to get a job. So even though you are your own business owner, you still have to know how to get a job. It's the same thing. People don't know how to sell themselves. How do you market yourself? We're going to teach you all of that on April the 6th here in Pickering, 1315 Pickering Parkway, Suite 300, but you have to register through CAT. So go on the website actually at www.the-staffroom.com and go under our events page. You'll see Dwayne's events.
And we're going to post
yes.
a link to that as well a little bit later.
Excellent.
And you spoke about a resume, and this is a question I've actually always been wondering about. Should you have, as a business owner, a business resume?
Reem just said hello.
Oh, hi, Reem.
Oh, hi. I know. We read that way.
Hey, Reem.
Yeah. And I
Oh,
just
cool.
posted the link to the event.
Should you have a resume is the question. Should you have a business resume, to be more specific? Absolutely. Because when people want to know who you are, it's not necessarily a resume as you know it, where you've got your education and where you've worked and everything. It's actually a bio is what it's called. So you should have a bio on yourself. Get somebody else to do it is my suggestion.
Do you think, because I know for me, I don't like writing a bio, so it's great to have someone else do it. But would it be beneficial, I think I might do mine this way only because I like bullet form, to do it as if you're doing a resume. So yes, you have your education, you have your volunteer, you have the things that you might have been on a board for, you have your affiliates, and you have the projects that you've completed. Do you think that will sell you?
Depends on, it really depends on service, MLMs, sole proprietor, incorporation. It depends on a lot of things. Yeah, you can have 2 of them. You can do a bullet point one. So if you're going to a workshop and you want to be a speaker, you can do that. Or you can have it where it's like a paragraph, maybe 2 paragraphs. It depends. Is it on your website? Because it should be. That's one of the things. One of the things that you need to have on your website. Amanda, did you get that? You have to have your, if you don't have your bio on there, you're the business owner.
I know.
How do they trust you? Who are you? What do you do?
People know me.
We've got people that know us, but what about those people that talk about us to other people and they want to know who you are? So how do they trust you? How do they get to know you? You need a bio on there. Doing this there. So here's the thing. 5 people 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are going to win a free HR audit through Dwaynia, sorry. Our event, April the 6th. I appreciate your time. I thank you for your questions, and I'm going to hand this back over to the lovely lady herself, Dwaynia.
Woohoo. Oh, wow. That was quite an hour. So thank you so much, Lisa. And thank you, Kat, behind the scenes over there. Thank you, staff room in general. So recap of some of the deals that we have. Make sure you email me. The first 5 people will receive that half-hour screening from Lisa. I will do it all in order. I'll check my email sometime tonight. Go to vistaprint.ca/CSBW deals and use the promo code CSBW17 and get 20% off. You can also get 30% off our seminar vendor spaces in Niagara if you mention this chat, and that only lasts until this week. And we have one other bonus for you. So we only have a few days left for anyone who would like to become a member of Canadian Small Business Women. We only open our membership a few times a year, so you only have, what date is this, the 29th? Okay, only 2 days left. So if you want a really good deal, only the people on this video, use the promo code FBChat, so FB is in Facebook, FBChat, and you'll get 50% off the annual memberships. So that's big, okay? That's only for 2 days. Anyhow, this has been fantastic. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Vistaprint. Make sure that you scroll down the Small Business Women page to see, oh, hey.
If you believe it will happen.
Just believe. Scroll down the Canadian Small Business Women page because we have quite a few events that are coming up. We will share the staff room events. I believe we have a Teach Me Social event tomorrow downtown at the Albany Club. So that should be on the page as well. And yes, there should be more events being posted soon because I just got off the phone today discussing 2 additional events for April. So they're kind of fun. I believe there's, no, May is Pamperfest, but that's coming up too. And Jennifer Beal has an event in April. I will share that as well. So that's all I have. That's all we have from all the way in Pickering. I made it out here.
She did. Look at that. She did
I
it.
made it.
She did it.
So good night, everyone.
Thanks, guys.